I'm gonna do something I probably shouldn't do. Should I do it anyway? Do you think I should? Oh geez, I probably should not do this. Check it out, you know what this is? This is the Sony ZV1. What in the world? Why did I get this? Why am I renting this? Why do I care? Look at how tiny it is. Look at how tiny. Monique Renee here, photographer at Silver Paw Studio, and on this channel I empower you to tell all of your tales with tales through photography and videography. In today's video, we're going to talk about video. Ready? Okay, so why did I rent the Sony ZV1? It just came out, I think this summer of 2020, this summer, and it's gotten amazing reviews. And what I would like is something for the studio that is a good professional camera that I can mess with all the settings for video, and it be a dedicated video camera, because right now what I'm using is my big stills cameras, my Sony A7R III and the Sony A9 II, which are excellent for video. I use them on client sessions, I use them here on YouTube, all kinds of things. But otherwise, when I just want to record a 1-minute piece, I get out my GoPro. Let's see if you can see this. So you're looking at my GoPro right now. That's the GoPro Hero 7 Black. It's an awesome camera. It has 4K. It's just been a great camera, really stable, indestructible basically. But it is always on wide angle and I can't really do much with the settings. So I really wanted something like this that I can keep on the settings I usually use and stick it on a tripod and record. I can put the microphone on here that I have. I can use my little wireless goes. I can do a lot of things with this little camera on the go, and it'd be much higher quality than the GoPro. We're trying it out. I want to see if it's worth all the hype. It's really not that expensive. It's under $1,000. It might be just like $800, which, you know, compared to some of my other gear, was a pretty good deal. And honestly, with my GoPro, once I bought the GoPro, the batteries, the cage, the microphone, the cards, all of the clamps and stands for it, it was $800. So let's be real. So something like this, but while, you know, not indestructible action camera, it's gonna be excellent. I've heard lots of great things about it and I'm gonna try it out. I've rented this, oh, good night. I rented this for the next 10 days over 2 weekends. One of them's a long holiday weekend. Steve and I have some videos we're gonna make. I'll be making some videos for this channel with this, for at least 2 other people in town. I'll be doing some videos for them using this little camera. And then at the end, we'll find out if I end up buying this camera or just sending it back to the rentals shop. I would love this to be something I can use not only here on the YouTube channel, but also for client work as a 3rd or 4th camera. I recorded so much footage that I put together a compilation. First test was with settings. The smoke from the fires made the white balance settings a bit of a challenge. When I put the camera on auto white balance, all this looks blue, but this is on sunlight balance and it's too red. So I really don't know what mode to put this on, but right now it is 4:30 in the afternoon. Sunrise isn't for 3 more hours, and look at how dark it is. You know, we've had 100-degree days for 2 days. We'll have 100 degrees again tomorrow. These are record temperatures for September here in Colorado. The good news is that Tuesday it's supposed to drop to 37 and snow. So I'm just hoping, I can see the ash falling right now. I'm just hoping that it will help put out some of these fires. Eerie apocalyptic sunsets aside, the settings on the ZV1 were pretty easy to master. Once I had dialed in what I liked, I could really just turn the camera on and go. Next up, we're testing stabilization and field of view, the Sony ZV1 versus the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I have both these cameras side by side, the GoPro and the Sony ZV1, and I'm doing this like Casey from Camera Conspiracies, but with a twist. I've got the dog, where is she? Tied to me. And we're just gonna take a quick walk, and I've got my bag and I've got my phone. So this may not be the best idea ever, but I want to figure out the stabilization aspect. So let's go. Let's go, bae. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Woohoo! All right, how is it in the woods with both cameras and the dog? So now we're in the little tree area, and I'm trying to walk a little careful, but I have this dog yanking on my leash, of course. So this is that cropped in look that you get when you're on full active stabilization, and I have the little handles, but I just want to get a little bit farther. So I don't think that's too bad. I don't think I'm cropped in too close, honestly. One of the things that I want to test is obviously how stable on this little walk, and then field distortion. So I want to test distortion as well. Okay, I better get bae home. All right, one of the big complaints about the Sony ZV1 is that it's very cropped in. I have it on 4K active stabilization, and so that's like the most it crops in without me zooming. So this is the wide. Okay, but for me, that's actually an advantage. I've been using the GoPro so much, and it's so wide that I am looking forward to having a really good quality camera that doesn't have the distortion and can zoom in some more. So to show that, I'm gonna do something I probably shouldn't do. Should I do it anyway? Do you think I should? Oh geez, I probably should not do this. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, you'll see. Just hold on. Yeah, I went there. Don't worry, the pond right there is maybe a foot deep. Just don't tell the rental company, okay? Okay. All right, so I'm doing it. Here we go. It's really hard to paddle and hold this camera, and I want to hold it over the boat. Okay, I'm not going to go very far today. I'm not going to go on a big paddle, but I do want to show this. So when I do that, and I look around at the pond, this is a pond, it's extremely shallow, you'll see that it's very different than the GoPro. So that's in my face. So if I took the GoPro and I can see the curve there, right? And it's all really, really, really wide angle. Which can be really pretty when I clip it back to the boat. But sometimes you just want a closer up look and you want a straight horizon, right? So I just thought I would get in the kayak for a second and show you what it's like with the ZV1. I'm keeping it over the boat, don't worry. It is not waterproof like the GoPro is. Look, take a look, everyone. See, that went fine. Up next, let's talk about battery life. All right, I can already see the battery problem people talk about. This morning I just played around with the settings and a couple of clips at home, and we've only been on our walk 10 minutes and the battery is already really low. I did rent a second battery because I knew this, but if I buy this camera, I'm gonna have to buy like 2 or 3 batteries. So what they say about battery life is true. Last up, let's see if my Rode Wireless Go microphones work on the ZV1. All right, I am testing out with the Rode. Tap, 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 that's stupid. I am testing the Rode Wireless Go right now. It fits so nicely on top of this little camera. And it's totally out of the way of any of the buttons and the flippy screen. Here is a test of using the Rode Wireless Go with the Sony ZV1. What do we think? Does it sound pretty good? Huh? Does it? All right. I have had this camera on loan. I rented this from Borrow Lenses for the last 10 days. As you've seen, I've gotten all kinds of footage here in the last 10 days in Colorado, from the smoke haze from the wildfires of the mountains to the snowstorm the next day, things around the house, and I even took it on 3 business shoots that I was doing as a test of this camera. I've got a chance to play around with it quite a bit over the last 10 days. The reason I'm thinking about adding the Sony ZV1 to my lineup, even though I have this GoPro, is a couple of things. This GoPro, I can adjust some of the settings, but not really that many. And I have found no matter what setting I have it in for 1080p, it just doesn't have very good quality. I have to shoot in 4K all the time. I want to be able to control the settings more, which I can do with this one. Another thing is that this is always wide angle, especially if you're in 4K, you have to have it on wide or super wide all the time. While I can crop in and post, there's still just that distortion that you get from the images. And this one, although people complain about that it has not a wide enough lens for vlogging, I actually really have liked that. Another thing that I have found with my GoPro is I really can't pair it up with my Rode Wireless Go's. I tried it and it sounded terrible, and I don't know if I got a setting wrong or not, but I would love to be able to use my Go's with this, which I can. Some similarities is that the battery life's not awesome, so these little batteries, if I buy this camera, I'm gonna need to get about a set of 4. Because they do deplete quickly, especially if you've got it on 4K and maximum stabilization. That's one of the downsides of this Sony ZV1, is it goes through batteries fast. The other downside to the ZV1 that I found is some overheating. And again, I think it's when I've got it 4K and stabilized. That is a little bit of a concern. What I did find in my research was that try to keep the battery door open if you can, because the battery won't fall out, and keep the screen open, because then you can get some airflow here. Not ideal, because the battery door is right where the tripod mount is. So what I've seen is that what most people do is they get a dummy battery, just power it from there, no overheating, and no problem with battery life. So I might consider that. One of the other interesting things that people complain about with the ZV1 is because the tripod is in the way of the battery door, you can't get to the battery and the SD card quickly. But that's not really a problem for me because this is what I'm used to having to do. With my GoPro, I have to put it in this little cage. I'm gonna plop it in here like that, and then put the back cover on. And then to use the microphone, I need this microphone adapter that slides in this aftermarket cage. I gotta plug it in on this side and then put this here and plug it in on this side. And then I have to rubber band the wind muff up because I'm shooting on such a wide angle, the hairs keep getting in the screen. That is extra irritating. So just removing a tripod to get to the battery, to me, it's not a big deal. So why have a GoPro and a Sony ZV1, right? And here's what I want to do is if I have the cover, all the covers on here securely, this GoPro can go underwater, it can go in the snow, it can go in the rain. I can put it on the harness for dogs when I'm doing a commercial shoot. A lot of times people want that dog point of view, so I can slip this in a dog harness and not worry about it at all. I can do all kinds of action stuff with this. So this will definitely stay in my kit. What about the ZV1? Where does it fit in? Well, obviously it's not weatherproof, so I can't take it out on my kayak. Well, I shouldn't take it out on my kayak, but it does have that flippy screen. So when I'm on location and I'm photographing for YouTube video, and I'm not sure if I'm in the shot, if I'm by myself, this is super, super helpful. I have really loved this screen. The built-in microphone's pretty good. I can take decent stills for thumbnails and small images, but this will be a dedicated video camera in my studio. Right now, this video I'm shooting on the Sony a7R III, and you saw what it took to set all that up. Alternatively, I could put this on any lightweight tripod, put the microphone here, flip out the screen, be ready to go. So that will be really, really nice, and it won't have that distortion, and I can set all the settings myself. So in the end, even though this has just those couple of flaws, I can totally work around it. I have all of my other gear that I can use, and even if I wanted to vlog with this, I think it looks pretty good. So in the end, I think we will end up purchasing this week. I have to send it back tomorrow. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't want it to go. I want to keep this little ZV1. And it's not just because I love all kinds of cameras. I just really think this is gonna be a great addition to the gear. So there you go, my GoPro versus ZV1 review. I hope you've enjoyed all of the different footage. I've really enjoyed trying it out. I hope this was all useful information to you as well. If you have any questions about this, type them in the comments. If you liked this video, you'll definitely like one of these wherever I put them. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATS's. I love coffee.